Hello everybody, this is Andrew Hicks, your technology coordinator for the Uball Daily Group. Today we're going to be learning how to create an opportunity. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Now, the first step, you should have done this in the previous video where we created a contact for our opportunity. We also made sure that DocuSign was connected. So the next step is to go ahead and create that opportunity. So what we'll do is we're going to choose our opportunities here in the left-hand side. And again, I like to hit that red KW. That gives everything a little name next to the widget, makes it a little bit easier to see. So we'll go ahead and click on Opportunities here. And that brings us up to our Opportunities dashboard. Now you can see we've got a sales pipeline for the listing. We've got the Cultivate, Appointment, Active, Under Contract, and Closed. Same thing for the Buyer's pipeline. We've got the same phases here. Now you'll notice on the right hand side we have the GCI. It's got a potential income as well as the probable income. Now, the potential income is going to reflect how much we can expect to earn if every opportunity makes it all the way to closed. So that is the maximum amount that we can expect to get based on all the opportunities we have in the pipeline. Now, the probable income is going to be based on a couple of things. First of which is going to be based on the amount that the budget for the sale in the opportunity, also the commission rate, and also where it's at inside of this sales pipeline. So the further you move it down the pipeline, the larger that probable income will be, until finally it matches the potential income. So to get started, we'll go ahead and click on Create Opportunity here in the upper right-hand corner. And you can see it gives us a little form to fill out to create the opportunity. Now, a couple quick things I want to note before we dive into it. You can change anything inside of the opportunity after you create it, aside from 4 different things. So we won't be able to change the market center, if it's a team opportunity, the opportunity type, or the owner. So we want to make sure that we get that information correct the first time, otherwise we'll have to archive that opportunity and create a brand new one. So we'll go ahead and keep Clearwater here as our market center. If you work out of multiple market centers, you may have other options, so you want to make sure you select the one that you're working out of. If you have a team, you can select to put it into the team pipeline, that way your team is able to see it. Otherwise, you can keep it to yourself, that way the opportunity is only in your own pipeline. Now the opportunity type is where we will define if it's a listing opportunity or a buying opportunity. We're not going to worry about landlord and tenant currently, we're just working with listings and buyers. Now a quick note, the listing and buyer opportunities are exactly the same. The only difference is whenever you submit the documents, you're going to choose the buying paperwork instead of the listing paperwork. So we'll go ahead and choose listing because that's the type of transaction we're going to be completing here today. So the owner, if you're on a team, you can change this. Otherwise, it will just be yourself. The next part is where we're going to enter in the client. So this is the person that's going to be inside of the transaction. And I'm sure you're all familiar with by now, Bob Loblaw is the test person that I use for all of the trainings. So we'll go ahead and choose Bob Loblaw. And we have his co-seller, which is Kathy Loblaw. Now you'll see it automatically populated that because it's a related contact. Since when we created the contact initially, we added Kathy as his spouse. So that's why that shows up on there. If it's somebody else, you can type that in there as well. We'll search your contacts for that person. Now, you'll notice that you can only have 2 people on the opportunity, but you may have a transaction where there's 3 or more people. We'll be adding that information in whenever we start the documentation. We'll be adding it within DocuSign. We're not going to be adding it here, so don't worry if you don't have 3 blanks. We're just going to add 2 of them in here for now. Now for the opportunity name, this is going to be very important. What we want you to do is put in the full address for the opportunity name. So we'll go ahead and put in our address for the listing, and that's going to be 142 Carlisle Drive. And we're going to add the city. We're going to go ahead and add the city here, state, and the zip code as well. Now the reason being is it will make it a lot easier for compliance to see all the opportunities and the addresses. It'll be a lot easier for them to reference that. Also, if you have a lot of opportunities as well, it'll make it a lot easier on yourself too. So we want to make sure that we have the full address in that opportunity name, then the name of the person, and the type of opportunity. So that's going to make things a lot easier going forward for you. Now again, if this is a buying opportunity, you may not know the exact address they're trying to purchase. So in that case, you can leave that part blank and just keep the name and buyer. And you can always go back and edit this information as I mentioned previously. Once you do get that information, you can edit it, and we'll show you that in just a couple of moments. Now, another important feature are these custom tags. Now, these custom tags, we're going to want to tag this property with as many details as we can that are specific to that property. Now, we're not going to add any sort of tags that are based on the client. These are all going to be about the property. So in this case, this house is on the water, so we'll choose waterfront. And you can see I've already created this custom tag, so it shows up inside of the list here. Now, let's say if we wanted to add a new custom tag that we have never added before. So we'll say that if this house is a peach-colored house, that's something that would jog our memory. We can remember that this was a peach house. We can just type in peach-colored house. And you can see right below it gives us the option to create it. So we can click right here, or we can press the return key on the keyboard, and that will add that in there as well. Now, it's important to tag this with as many custom tags as you can think of that will help you jog your memory about the property. The reason being is if from 2 years from now you need to pull any documentation from this transaction, it's going to be a lot easier to remember it based on attributes of the property than it is to remember the exact address, or potentially even the client that you worked with. So the better that you can narrow down the custom tags on here, the better it will be and easier it will be for you to pull that information later on. So again, we'll want to put in as many as we can here. In this instance, we're just going to add 2 of them here. And the next part is the estimated close date. So we're going to want to put our estimated close date here. Now again, you can edit this information as you get it, so if you don't have it right now, you can leave that blank and then edit it later. So for this one, we are going to go ahead and choose, we'll just say June 30th. Now the estimated listing price, we'll have to put this in here because this is going to help calculate our GCI. So we'll go ahead and just choose 700,000. This is something that I typed in previously, so it gives me a little drop-down option to show some other ones that I've put in previously. You can always just type it directly in here. As you can see, if we do 750,000, you can see I've done that as well, but we'll go ahead and choose that. Now the commission rate, it is a required field. You may not know what it is right now. Now we'll go ahead and just take a quick guess here. Again, that is to calculate the GCI, so it is required. Now, a couple of things, we want to make sure that we edit these details and put them in as correctly as possible for a couple of reasons. One reason being is this information will eventually filter into DocuSign automatically, so it'll fill out that information, that way you don't have to type it in again. Also, this information is being fed into the KWAI, and what it's going to do is it's going to learn from all the information that we give it, and it will be able to give us intelligent decisions or intelligent suggestions based on the information that it has. So if we were to try to list this house for, let's say, 500,000, but the Keller Williams AI knows that houses with these amenities this close to the water typically go for 750,000, it can gently remind us and let us know, hey, it looks like you may have put the incorrect price on here. Are you sure you want to go that low? And it can recommend some pricing for you. So again, that's going to help out everybody in the future, and it will give us a lot more market data, which is extremely important, as you know. Now, the next part is the opportunity phase. This is where we're going to choose which part of the pipeline it's in. So for this, we can click on this. You see it's on Cultivate currently. That is the first phase. And you can see that we've got over here in this next area, which stage it's in. We have Watch, Nurture, and Hot, so we can put into any of those. You can see if I change it to Appointment, the opportunity stage over here updates on the side, and we can choose which one we need to from there. So for our purposes, we are going to choose Active, and we're going to keep it here at Staging. So once we've done that, we can click on Create Opportunity, and that will start it, so I'll go ahead and click right there. And we've created that opportunity. So we're going to stop the video right here, and then we'll go through this next part in the next video. So make sure that you check out the next one to continue on this transaction. That way you can become a little bit more familiar with it and try it out yourself.